this is Dan from Project Dead Gaming, coming at you with a Odd Eyes Guardragon deck profile.
Alright, so tell us what's in the deck profile, or what do you want to show us first?
Alright, so I'm going to start off with the main deck. As most Odd Eyes decks will have, you'll have the play set, why did I say E? Whatever. You'll have a play set of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. It's one of the main core pieces of the deck because it just turbos shit out when you need it, and otherwise it'll keep things that are just reoccurring and make them problematic for the opponent. And most people like running 3 of this guy. I used to have ultis. I sold them so I can make the deck completely and all that. I prefer 2 of him and 1 of him because it gives a little bit more diversity to the deck. So it's got the the scale effect where you don't take damage with battle with the pendulum monster, or something that'll set off that guy by popping Search. And then him and scale is beat over something that you normally would have problems with. Where do you burn? I've had a few people already look at the deck and ask, why are you running these in a Guardragon deck? Well, simply put, it's to get Electromite out faster, as well as its extra negation or disruption to deal for the opponent to have to worry about. That and its extra bodies. Chronograph 3, one-time gazer, typical for any pendulum deck that runs Electromite or otherwise, but kind of necessary regardless. And then the whole Darkworm Gate 0 package, I run 3 Darkworm because, again, Guardragons, you need level 4 or lower to start it off. And then having a 0 scale is always good. I don't have Phantasma Dragon, but if I did, I would be running this at 1 with the other 0 scale being the Phantasma Dragon.
Did you ever break with the deck so far, or how was it today at regionals? Did you break it all?
It was funny because even bricks were usable.
That's really neat to hear.
2 Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon.
Okay, so what does this do exactly? It's my first time ever seeing this here.
Okay. A Odd Eyes card on the field. Say we got this guy on the scale, this guy in the monster zone in defense position. Normally, I don't want to have that, but if I have to have that situation, say I've got Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon in another monster zone, right?
Yeah.
This can protect it for 1 destruction for the turn.
Oh, it's pretty good.
So it's not that great, it's not that bad, but it's a level 3 or lower, or level 4 or lower dragon. Guardragons summonable off of this thing, so there we go.
Exactly.
Two Persona Dragon, kind of self-explanatory. It's a low scale. It's basically a built-in negation for the deck. It's say opponent has brought that out. They're about to use it. I have this out in defense position. They want to burn me. I go no. They can't pop. They can't burn from that effect. Nothing. It basically shuts down extra monster effect. It's pretty good when your opponent goes, say you're playing against Sky Strikers, your opponent brings out a Kagari, you have that out on board, they don't get that engage back. These are kind of mandatory. This is there for level 7 Synchro or level 8 Synchro. The only one that I would ever be summoning off of this for level 8 is Sporeload Savage. Level 7 is actually an Odd Eyes Meteorverse Dragon. I actually have not really gone into that at all today. Just Savage Dragon. And then we have the Walking Polymerization. Performer Pal Odd Eyes Dissolver. It's technically a hand trap, a dragon's mirror, and a walking polymerization all in one. So, say I got a pendulum monster out on the field, like this guy. I want to protect him. I keep this in hand. Opponent goes to run him over. Special, save him for the battle. Next turn, if they somehow get rid of him, because you know, Morphage, they prevent you from going into anything other than a Morphage from extra deck. So if they somehow get rid of him, I can fusion summon for Odd Eyes Vortex or perform a Pal Gatling Gold, which I prefer over Guardragon Cowboy because it's non-targeting destruction, burn, and can still attack. Guard Dragons, gotta run these. Gotta run these. This is the part of the bread and butter of any Guard Dragon focus build.
How did you do?
So it's you special this a couple times a turn. You special something out from grave, hand, whatever. Kind of pricey, and by pricey I mean life points, not card cost. It's like $7. So it's not that expensive, but it's definitely leads to more combo plays and otherwise. Now onto the spells, we have the main searcher of the deck, Spiral Flame Strike. It's both a Raigeki Break or a Rhoda. So it kind of does both. So for the Raigeki Break, you need to have an Odd Eyes on the field. For the Rhoda, it just doesn't matter. It's not hard once per turn either. So say your opponent ashes you, you just activate another one. Get that ash. And I've seen a lot of controversy over triple allure with this deck. My only response is I can summon whatever I banish.
Respect.
Plus his extra draw. Now I was toying with the idea of doing a Dragon Ravine and a Dragon Shrine, but this seemed to work overall because I used to go through the deck so often that it would be kind of annoying because I'll draw into one of these, use it, draw into a Foolish Burial, use it, and then draw into another one of these. So that's where the Dragon Ravine would come in, is it would replace one of these. I'd get a third dump for the turn, it would not be useless. But I didn't have that problem today. I drew only one, didn't ever have to worry about shoveling it back into the deck. Apparently I'm going to start shoveling things now. So Monster Reborn. Most Odd Eyes Guard Dragon builds that I've compared mine to, they'll run no Monster Reborn, 2 Sky Iris. I absolutely cannot stress this enough. If you're running Odd Eyes or Magicians or anything like that that has Odd Eyes cards in the deck, you want to run this at 1 at max because of how bricky it can get with 2 or more. I've had situations where I had a playset in the deck at one point. It was a headache. I drew all 3 and the freaking Terraforming. I drew 2 copies and a Terraforming. This way I don't have to run a Terraforming or anything. It's Luck of a Draw gives me this field spell. I get protection plus his ridiculousness going on like crazy. Plus there was actually one time where today Monster Reborn turned the shit around real fast. So I brought LP back out from the grave because I had tributed it off to summon. Actually, I tributed this off so that I could normal summon the Odd Eyes card. So then from there, I went into a bunch of other nonsense, and it was. I shut the opponent out of the extra deck at that point. Last but not least, you may want to shield your eyes because it's a platinum rare. Foolish Burial.
Damn, I'm getting blinded already. What the fuck?
Foolish is foolish. It's both a bad choice but a good choice. Yeah.
Sure, you just don't get blinded at you, but
Yeah, I haven't had that problem yet today. So, extra deck. Guardragon package. Kind of mandatory for it to even be called Guardragons. So, again, summon, banish, or grave. Summon from deck, I'll either go for Goliath or I'll go for Darkness Metal Dragon. And this I have several targets for. I'll get in that in a moment. I have actually 2 targets. Never mind. We got 2 targets.
I'll see.
Two important targets, I should say.
Exactly.
Now, for Link 2s that are not Guardragon, I have my one non-dragon Link monster, Electromite, the mandatory card for the whole deck, and Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres.
How many times have you gone into the Heretic Link monster so far in this regional?
I'd say 5 times today.
Alright, what about the Electromite? Since, like, it's all
Every
pinch
time.
days. Every time?
Every time.
No, like, did you regret it or nah? Like,
Nah. What is regret when you just go nuts?
true, exactly.
Holy crap, this chair has wheels. Oh, it doesn't. I'm crazy.
4 days without sleep, man, you're good.
Yeah. Okay, so favorite thing to do with this guy. I just usually use him for link ladder, so he's just off to the side. Ignore him.
Yeah, don't worry about
I mean her. Ignore her. I forgot that Electromite's a chick.
it. It is?
It is.
Let me... Oh my gosh. Oh, fuck.
Did you just assume Electromite's gender?
I think we just did.
I call every card a he. That's my bad.
Third, Dark Magician Girl? That's below.
Except for her.
Oh, really?
Dark Magician
There
Girl.
are 8 million genders and counting. You know, cultured bodies.
Slap. So my favorite thing to do is wait for the opponent to play something detrimental with their whole setup. I'll go tribute this because it gets that effect once per turn while it's in the extra monster zone.
Mm-hmm.
Bounce their card to their hand.
Nice.
When that's tributed, it gets to summon a dragon from the deck, but it comes out with 0 attack and 0 defense. But its effect is intact. I'll summon this guy.
I am so sorry about that, man. My camera skills are not great.
It's all good. I will summon this guy, because most of the time, if I go into that, I don't have Goliath on field. So this is a good one to go into after tributing that off. It's basically a monster for a monster to disrupt and disrupt.
Sexy.
Triple Burst Dragon. Play extender, link laddering, or crawling, whatever you want to call it. As well as sometimes I'll bring it back to cause more problems for the opponent. Like say if I'm going to try an OTK. I'll go triple burst, this, that, you know, it's typical shit for a Guardragon deck.
Cool beans.
Skull Dread.
Man,
Usually the last thing I end on before going for Goliath.
Alright.
Skull
Contras.
Dread's kind of mandatory for the deck. Or Boral Sword, considering it's still a dragon.
So-
Now, I want this to stay at 1 if they hit it on the ban list. Because it's not broken at 1. It's broken at 2+.
Yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth, man.
The Dorito. Or Naruto, or whatever you want to call it.
Sasuke.
I mean, no, that looks more like the one guy that does the sand.
Oh, Gara.
Yeah, it looks more like Gara with some weird garb. I was trying to find a way to rhyme that, it didn't work. kind of self-explanatory. I've got enough level 6 pendulum monsters that are spellcasters in the deck to be able to bring him out. I did not go into him at all today. I had no need to do so. But the rare need to do so does arise, and he's there to fill that requirement. Kind of needed, kind of not. One of the two ways I summon Odd Eye's Vortex Dragon is this guy. It's either I go into him to get Vortex out by linking him off for triple burst, or I'll use Performer Pal Odd Eye's Dissolver, the walking polymerization, the walking hand trap polymerization. Very rarely will I ever use the attack negation on this guy. Meteor Burst is just Meteor Burst. It's special as a scale. I can go into that. I can go do whatever. I might change him out for a Crystal Wing. I have a Crystal Wing. I took him out for one of the cards in the extra deck right now.
Do you miss it, or...?
I didn't have the card that's in the extra deck now during the entire regional. I had the Crystal Wing in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, he might become Crystal Wing. Warlord Savage. Because the deck's a savage. Self-explanatory. It's a level 8 synchro negation. Gives me more useful things to do with my links that are already in the grave and whatnot. Archfiend Abyss. Again, it's a Guardragon deck. I can summon this. This negates. I want it. Now this is one that most Guardragon decks do not see playing that I have seen. King Dragoon. Or Dragon. Whatever pronunciation you like. It's a blanket protection for any dragon monster. Plus it has half of the effect of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. It can special summon a dragon from your hand. So yeah, it's pretty good. Very good for dealing with Sky Strikers, to be honest. Keeps them from targeting your good shit. Used to have an ulti of him. I do not anymore. I had to sell it to make the deck playable. As soon as I have the money, I'm getting ultis again. I'm fulling the whole deck out as soon as I have money to do so. He's a built-in negation and recycle for the extra deck monsters. I'll usually, if I bring him out with Odd Eye's Dissolver, I'll usually go and use him to put Dissolver back in the deck so that I can properly summon him. Because that's my cowboy. Personally, I say fuck cowboy because what if there's still time to go into battle phase? You don't go cowboy for game and then go into battle phase. I go Gatling Ghoul for game, and if there's still time to go battle phase, I go, okay, attack, 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 still able to attack, does burn. Cowboy does not get to attack if you bring him out during the opponent's turn. Or no, not during the opponent's turn. I haven't had lack of sleep for 4 days. So the fact that I'm even able to get through most of this deck list without making stupid screw-up words amazes me.
Dude, yeah. Because I fucked up in the beginning.
Take two.
Take two? No, I shoot it all. I always shoot it raw.
Get
Yeah,
out this
Hey,
later.
man, that's alright, man. We all shoot raw, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, pull up game weak over here.
No. When you pull out, man, fuck. You gotta make sure you got plan B, then.
Oh, man, plan B.
Plan A. Plan A. Plan C.
Or, just make sure the bitch has birth control.
Nah, fuck no.
Or just disappear for a year.
And then you figure out how to stay good.
Change your name. Go to a different country.
Long
No,
as-
I'm just kidding. Don't do any of that. Don't do any of that. Well, this has been my Odd Eyes Guardragon deck. Peace.